This is Raising Bosses. I'm your host, Shauna J. Ray, and on this podcast, it's a space for parents, dreamers, and entrepreneurs who believe that nurturing a family and building success can go hand in hand. These are real stories, heartfelt strategies, and a reminder that your family and your goals can grow together. So stay tuned. Hi guys, thanks for joining me. My name is Shauna J. Ray. I'm coming here on Raising Bosses. I've got a little bit of a different podcast for you guys this time. So I always take you guys on my journeys. I always tell you guys what I have going on, bettering growth and all these things. So there's going to be a little bit of a series here where we talk about pageants. Okay, guys? So I have this coming out a little bit later than I wanted to, but you know what? Just later than I wanted to, right on time for everything else and when you guys needed to hear this. But recently, this last almost a year, I was in a pageant, and I was in a pageant for Miss Orlando Carnival Queen. So I'm just going to come on here and talk to you guys a little bit about basically my experience, my personal views on why I started the pageant, what was going on with me when I started the pageant, just those different variables. So now I'm going to tell my point of view of things, and then I have some interviews coming up with my pageant sisters. So I can't wait to push those out for you guys. I've got some good interviews, just highlighting them, talking to them about the things that they have going on. And let me tell you, I was amongst such multifaceted women in this pageant. It was the best thing for growth. Let me not get beside myself rather. And kind of just, I'm going to just chat about it basically. And then you guys watch out for the interviews. So you guys will see some of the interviews and what they have going on, just highlighting them. So basically, this is my first pageant as an adult. And I was in a pageant when I was like 14. National American Miss. National American Miss. I cannot remember the name of it. I'm bad at this. I should have wrote it down because I can never remember these things. But yeah, so when I was 14, I was in this pageant, and I just remember always wanting to be in a pageant because, cute. You get to dress up, doll up, show off. I love being on stage, that sort of thing. So growing up, I only did the one pageant, but it was a great experience, and I always felt like I really grew from it. And I really remembered a lot of things that carried through to my adult years. So I always said, I would love to be in a pageant again, but I don't really feel like I had any one particular thing that, screamed pageant for me. So I wasn't really looking into a pageant. However, in the last few years, I had gotten into weightlifting like I've always wanted to since I was 12. I always wanted to be a bodybuilder and do the fit bodybuilding competitions and things like that. So I had been working toward that for quite some time. However, I have a childhood injury that I feel like doesn't allow me to comfortably, lift the way I want to. So I did look into getting it fixed so that I wouldn't have that complication. And I kind of put the being in a fitness competition on the back burner. However, about a year ago, actually, from the day to day, it makes it a little over a year now, but I came on to Orlando Carnival. I actually found out about Orlando Carnival through a casting. So I went to a casting for it. I didn't make it, and I love to tell people that part because I really want to get people understanding that everything isn't for you, and you need to have fun and move forward in the things that are for you. And sometimes the things that aren't originally for you may be for you later, or may point you in the direction of what is for you. So I didn't make that, but I did like how everything was with Carnival. They just had lots of amazing things going on, and I just loved how they brought the community together. So I did stay very close and kind of being like, I want to be around these people that are really a light to me. Everything that they do seems to fit with me. I'm, gaining more pride for my Caribbean roots, just a lot of things. And in the community, bringing culture and modeling and art into all of it for me. So I really enjoyed being around them. So, about maybe, it seems like such a long time to me, but when I talk about it and I realize it's really only a few months, because it was only a few months later, they had an opening for a pageant. Now, I'm going to get real, like, is it candid? Is that the word I'm looking for? Candid? I believe the word's candid. But basically, I felt like it was one of those things that was meant for me. I just was like, I have to do it. It's being presented to me. So since it's being presented to me, I need to take advantage of the opportunity. Because, like, imagine, you want this door open and you're like, yeah, no, I don't want to walk through it because I'm scared or some bad thing or whatever. Anyway, so it presented itself. Now, I cannot remember. I want to say before it presented itself, I lost the job that I had. And you guys know I've been on a lot of transitionary periods. And so this was actually the day that I was literally moving into my apartment, was like day 2 of moving into my apartment was actually the casting. And it was really something that brought in a lot of things for me. And this is just the pageant part of it. But I literally, had this apartment I just got, moved in. Within a few months, I'm like, okay, I want to do this pageant. And I'm pretty sure I had already lost my job. So I literally sat with myself and I was like, I don't know, like, should I even chance it? What if I can't do it? It's going to be hard for me. Lost my job, still trying to figure everything out. And I was just like, something just kept saying, do it. Like, it was just meant, like, I needed to do it. Like, there is no way I was getting out of not doing this. So basically, I just took a leap of faith and I went to the auditions for it and sat there, met some amazing women there that, I was really surprised that we were all just in the same wavelength at that time and being like, hey, and meeting them. And it opened my eyes to a lot of things because we were all in there and we didn't know each other yet, but we were going to grow this like special bond going forward, and I really feel that way about it. So it was just really nice to see everybody, and everybody was, getting together. We did like the walks and stuff. Everybody was nervous. Everybody was nervous and worried and things like that. And we were all there just trying our hardest. And I just kind of was like, it's here, so I'm going to take the chance. Sorry to get so long-winded about this, but it really is like a big part of it because I really just trusted the process. I was really happy to be a part of that, and I was nervous because I've never been in a pageant for real, and it's been years since I've been in anything that I could even consider pageant experience. So, I did feel very worried about that. And I was just like, whatever, if it's for me, it'll happen. And sure enough, I got that call. I was really excited that I was able to be a part of this. And they set it up where we were going to, be announced and everything. So I was like, wow, this is really, what is it called? Like, this is real now, Like, this isn't just me wanting and wishing. I'm here now, so I got to figure it out. And I don't have a job, and that's crazy. So, that's a big, significant part of it because, like I said, like, I literally just felt like it was so for me. I just had to do it no matter what, even in that hard time. And no regrets. I would do it all over again. So, so I literally started the pageant off at 0, and I just knew, I was like, this is something that's going to grow me, and this is going to be an experience that is going to stick with me just like it did 20 years ago, 20 something years ago when I did it when I was 14. And I literally am so grateful that I got that opportunity at 14 to know that I could have this opportunity now in my 30s. So the pageant actually originally was scheduled like 2 to 3 months from the time that we had our sashing ceremony. And then I was not ready, but something was just like, you know what, it's okay. Actually, let me reverse. There was the payments that we had to put up, and I had lost my job. I was struggling to DoorDash the money. I was struggling. I was like, I can have it if I do this and I do that. And so I was just trying to calculate a way to put it together. And lo and behold, last minute, they did extend the deadline for the payment, which worked in my favor. I was able to pay everything on time in that case. So I was really happy to be able to, all these things were falling into alignment for me. So it just further told me that I was on the right path. So I just kept going with it, and it was amazing. So actually, we got a few things done, and I thought we were going to be in a lot of different events and stuff like that in my head. So I was like, I thought we were going to do a lot of different things, but I was like, I see that we've got it scheduled a good enough months ahead. So, we can all do something. We can all, get our things together. I thought I was going to have my stuff together, and I was very ambitious and wanted to make my costume, my carnival costume, my gown, and my talent outfit. So I was really adamant about that. Everybody was kind of worried because, I was not on time wise. So whatever. But just like everything working itself out for what we were doing, they did reschedule it. And I was thankful because then that allowed me more time to get myself together, furthering that this was meant for me to be and meant for me to do, because everything just kept falling into alignment for me. And I really look at that continuously throughout the pageant experience. But with that brought more events, more things for us to do together, more stuff for us to bond. And that's what we did. And it was experiences that I remember thinking about wanting to do as a child, or things that I said I would eventually do one day. And one of the I don't want to call it small. It's not small, but it was one of those things that it's like I could have done this for myself, but things never worked into alignment that way. And maybe it sounds small, like everybody's done that. But I really love theater. I used to be in theater growing up in school and stuff like that. And so I've always wanted to see shows in theater, and one of them is the Nutcracker, real classic, things like that. Whatever rendition of it, I always wanted to see. That was one of them that I wanted to see. They did in fact take us to see the Nutcracker at the theater. So one of my I don't want to call it a bucket list, because isn't that when you're not going to be here anymore? But one of my things that I had listed off for myself a couple of years ago when I was on these transitions, one of them was going to the theater. So it was really a full circle moment just in that case alone, because it was something that it was on my list of things that I wanted to do that I probably could have just done for myself and just never had the opportunity. So it was really lovely. We got to go with several of my pageant sisters and take pictures. It was at the Dr. Phillips Center. One of the other big moments is when I was little, I was in a parade for school or what have you. I really love stuff like that. And they had the Martin Luther King parade. So me and some of my many of my pageant sisters, we were in that parade together, and that was amazing because that really got us ready for what we would go through during Carnival a little bit in some instance, and we got to wear the feathered backpacks. It was so amazing. I do have a lot of videos on my main page for Shauna J. Ray. You guys can check those out of the things that I'm actually going on about. I'm still posting. Y'all will hear this and y'all will still see new videos of stuff that we did for the pageant. But lots of self-expression. They encouraged us to put our voices out there for a lot of things. We were able to get support on a lot of things that we believed in, learn about talking to people and networking more and all these ways of growth. So these things came with childhood wants and dreams and hopes and things like that. So this is a little bit more of a like an in-depth talk with me about my experience with with Carnival pageant, Miss Carnival Queen, Orlando Carnival Queen pageant. It's very dear to my heart because of all the things that just came into alignment and showed me I was supposed to be there. Now, even though the pageant is over, I'm just talking about my experience with it. You guys will continue to see the videos of yes, and that's another thing. It is going to be videos of the podcast interview, so you guys will be able to see us and really engage with my pageant sisters that I interview. So I really appreciate you guys for staying tuned on here like this, because there is more to come and more things to talk about, and you guys can chime in as well. But yeah, so it was a great experience that I got to have with the carnival and the bonding. We still, are making time for each other, doing things. There's still events that we go to together and a part of. And we actually all work with Carnival, lots of Carnival events together. So we all find each other every few weeks, actually. It's really nice. The pageant's been over for a couple of weeks now as I'm recording this. Like I said, it's out a little bit later than I wanted it to be, but that's okay, all in good time. So yeah, that's basically one of the things about the pageant that I really loved. We just got to do so many things and really bond. And so it made it really special for all of us. And all of us, this is either like our first time with something like this, or like a lot of us were, learning as we went along, new things. And we all were really benefiting, growth. There's a lot of growth through it. So hopefully you guys will enjoy. Now my platform, you guys know, as usual, my platform is something that is about everybody following their heart and following their way authentically. It's very important that a lot of us know that we need to follow our minds and hearts authentically, because a lot of times we don't, and then we get hung up and life gets in the way, and then we forget all these things, because a lot of these things, I had dreams, hopes, and desires, if not since a very small child, since a teenager, which 20 plus years ago is a long time. But when you realize it goes in the blink of an eye, and a lot of us can relate to things that we wanted to do as a child, that was one of them I do encourage. And there was actually I do want to highlight too, a friend of mine, also why I thought this when the pageant came apart, I did look at it like, okay, it's definitely something. I have a friend, she was in Miss Corporate America, Miss Corporate, I think it's America. She was in that pageant, and I got to watch her do certain things in the pageant like months before I got in this pageant. And I looked around, and that particular pageant, I feel like an imposter, I guess you could say, because she's definitely does so much. She's amazing. And I did look up to her when I saw her in the pageant. So when this one was presented, it was like definitely meant to be, because you were just looking into stuff like this. So things can speak to us. The helicopter was trying to land and get me off the island. So it's very interesting how it happened. Now, through the pageant, it's been an amazing experience of networking with different people in different ways and different things, finding out how much just Orlando alone has to offer to us, let alone the people that come here and want to enjoy things with us. And now, the rest of the interviews are going to be actually held at Cap Village. Now, that is actually the hub for Orlando Carnival downtown, Cap Village, Caribbean American Passport. So they have a lot of things in advantage. So basically, it is a content space. You can go there, do podcasts. You can do filming, do different photography. There are... you can get crew if you need it there. You can rent things. You guys, there's a lot of different there's a lot of different things that they do just at the hub itself. So the rest of the interviews will be held there, and there'll be more podcast interviews held there as well. But they actually do their own podcast. This is me going on onto their space and recording my podcast and showing you guys what they have to offer. It's really a nice space. And this is also where they hold a lot of the events. You know, they do have a lot of outside events, but a lot of their events are held in there as well. And it's been a wonderful experience to be able to kind of call it home. And they are like a family to me now. Like, it's very lovely. I go there, it's, not too far away. I can visit there quickly. I can enjoy whatever they have going on. There's always something that I can be a part of. And it's just grown my community exponentially, and I'm really grateful. So I did want to show you guys a lot that they had to offer. You guys hear me talk. If you go on my Instagram, Shauna J. Ray, there are a lot of videos, and they're tagged in them in which the events took place there. There are so many things. The actual pageant was held there. A lot of the shows that I have posted, some of them were held there. So you guys can check that all out. And also check out Orlando Carnival Downtown, Cap Village. That's the name, Cap Village, on Amazon, on Instagram as well. So you guys will see more of it in the next interview. So make sure you stay tuned, guys. Don't forget, I am a notary as well. If anybody ever needs notary services, I do online notary services. I do have a lot of in-person things that I do as well. I'm also a wedding officiant. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a loan signing agent. So you guys keep me in mind if you guys ever need any notary services. So that is pretty much it now, guys. To that, make sure you guys keep an eye out for the next episodes, both for the pageant and for other upcoming information I have to tell you guys about. Appreciate you all for coming on here. Until next time, bye.